Hello, 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 hello. It's been a while since I did a live. Make sure I'm on the right live. Yes. A lot of stuff is going on, guys. I gotta be very careful which live I use. I gotta be very careful which live I use because First Amendment rights is under attack. What do? You fight right back. Anyway, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Been a while since I did a real live on StreamYard, at least multiple platform. Normally I just go into YT. I don't have a lot of people that is actually on MamaFlipLive. Most of the people are on MamaFlipSlots, but I promise to do all content that is not slot related on this channel moving forward. Because our other channel is predominantly, I'm sorry if there's a shadow, I'm still trying to figure out this light situation. What happened is I moved my setup because, I just don't want to, I moved my setup from another section. That's not bad. I moved my setup from another section, and to make it a lot easier for me, actually. And it's just pretty much pure laziness because it makes it a lot easier for me to do it this way than for me in the original setup. And because of that, now the lighting is not 100%. The lighting, there's a lot of dark and shading. And also, I'm using an actual, what did they call? I'm using, what's it called? The backdrop, the backdrop, instead of using the real live, so it makes it a little bit. Hey, hi, Tanya. Oh my God, I haven't seen you. Tanya Garrett, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Please share the live. Please, please. I need more people. I think I only have 18 subscribers, so please come over. So anyway, so yeah, something happened recently, right? I mentioned it in a couple of live. I mentioned it in my short chat with one of the. Thank you so much. With one of the casino partners who were not very happy with my take on a particular story. So we're having um, as a result, they don't believe in my First Amendment right. Let's just leave it like that. So because of that, because our slot channel is important to us, I made sure I remove anything political entertainment from the slot channel. We're just gonna play slots. The partnership with uh, the organization could not be salvaged, but it's okay because I can't change who I am as a person. I tried to, and I was willing to compromise on a lot of different things, including making sure. Sorry, ambulance. Oh, this is not bad. Okay, I think I figured out the lighting issue. Oh, no, not bad. You got my whole face. I tried to figure out a way to resolve the situation, but unfortunately, um, I know I said, unfortunately, we didn't come to an understanding. Let's just say that we didn't come to an understanding. Their interpretation of how I see things did not align with how they see things, so it's done and deal. I will revisit this conversation because right now I'm having a lot of conversations in the background on actually how to deal with the situation. I'm going to revisit it because I'm not going to let it go. I'm just not the type of person that let things go, to be honest with you. If I think I'm being unfairly treated or disrespected in any way, I'm not going to let it go. I'm really not. And most people who knows me knows that that's just the way I am. I don't let things go. It's just it's not me to let things go. I wish I could, to be honest. I wish I could just look at things and say F it. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna fight about it. But that's just not me, because especially when I don't think I did anything wrong. And I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to me. Oh, one of them is engaged. tell you, she's small. Lord have mercy, God bless her. Um, with me is that if I don't think I did anything wrong and you can't convince me that I'm wrong, then it's gonna be a problem. To be honest with you, I'm not even gonna lie. It's gonna be a problem because if I don't think I'm wrong, you can't convince me I'm wrong. I know it's wrong to say that, but it's true. If I don't believe I did anything wrong, and I explain to you that I didn't do anything wrong, and I explain to you what the reason, hey Mike, the reason why I say, okay, good. All right. I just wanted to confirm that you guys could hear me on Instagram. If I don't believe I did anything wrong and I didn't have any ill intent in reporting on the story, because that's exactly what I was doing, is reporting on the story and making an interesting connection between my advocacy work and another person advocacy work, and you don't like the advocacy work that I'm doing and the other person was doing because it maybe, because you support someone and you don't like the reference, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's the story. I'm going to tell the story as it is. um so anyway, I'm going to continue to push on it and going to continue to talk about it, and I'm going to continue to warn people. I'm not going to name the company. Most people who knows the partnership we have could figure it out. I'm not going to name the company publicly yet. I'm just going to continue talking about it, and if people ask me, I'll tell them in person. I just want to tell everybody very clearly: be careful. Different organizations, different groups that you're in, everything. Just be careful. And even the people that you talk to and align yourself with, just be careful and know who they are or what their beliefs are, right? And beliefs are, if you don't, then you're gonna find yourself caught out there. You're gonna find yourself caught out there, you're gonna find yourself being surprised, and you don't need to be. Just be careful as a slot channel or community. If you want to do anything extra curriculum, advocacy wise, sports wise, and someone has a say of what you do, make sure that you, at least the best that you can, align yourself and know who they are. I'm trying to say without saying too much. I'm sorry, I might be sounding a little google. I'm just trying to say without saying too much, but make sure you know who you partner with, who you hang out with, who you talk to, and make sure that they know who you are as a person, because you don't want them to be surprised and you don't want to be surprised. Me, I'm completely who I am. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. I'm an advocate, and that's it. I'm media. I'm not going to have anybody stop me from saying what I have to say. I will, if I do something wrong, I will apologize. If I didn't do anything wrong, I don't feel anything that I did anything wrong. I'm not. You're gonna have to show me where I did wrong. But by shutting something down without even explaining yourself, because you think that you have power over anything, is not the way to go when it comes with me. Because what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway. So the fight is not over for the First Amendment. Because once you push my buttons, I'm going to continue to play around with you for life. And I'm very patient. I promise you, I'm very patient. One or 2 days, something is, I'm going to find myself back in that same area, and then the conversation is going to be had one on one with the person or the people in charge. So it's not going to be over. And when the time comes, I'll be able to tell the whole story about what happened and move from there. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about character letters. I'm going to try to do this differently than everybody else, but I know a lot of my advocates and survivor advocates out here, especially the ones on social media are going off. A lot of them are going off, especially because of a particular celebrity, Young Miami. What her name? Clarissa Jones. What is Young Miami name? Anyway, what's her real name? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that I have her real pronounce, because I'm horrible with names. Let me go there. Make sure that I go in there. A lot of people really doing a number on which the paperwork that she submitted. What's her name? What's her formal name? Isn't it? 65. I saw it was 65. It's not 65, it's 63. Okay. Hold on a second, guys. For some reason, I can't find it. Maybe I got the wrong number on it. Maybe the files that I opened up is the wrong number. Oh, yeah. Carissa Brownlee. Carissa Brownlee. So, yeah, that's her real name. So, anyway, Carissa Brownlee decided that she's going to write a letter. A lot of people are talking about her letter and what she had to say as a result of her doing a character letter for Diddy. There's been a lot of things that came out about young Miami throughout the years, and a lot of people felt that it wasn't like her actually coming out and writing the letter is particularly insulting. Why is this thing? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to figure out. This is it's good, but then the light was good, but it's actually messing around with the screen. But sorry, guys, I'm trying to figure this out. You see, I had a setup. I just moved. All right, what about this? Anyway, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm gonna fix it the next time. I'll figure it out. I'm just trying to not go to my old settings again. But this is really annoying me, though. It's really annoying me. So anyway, so a lot of people have a lot of things to say about her and the letter that she written. So you're gonna see a lot of reports about that. I will be reading her letter, but before I read her letter, I want to read something else, and I need us to have the same energy with people who wrote the character letter for Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy, Daddy Puff Combs, that we have the other couple that wrote letters. And I realized when I was looking through some of the letters that one of my very favorite, beloved sons, are you going to the? Yes, of course. I'm going this week. There's a hearing this week. I'll be there. I plan on being there this week. So yes, Tanya, I definitely plan on being there. One of my beloved stepsons, who I love and hold dear heart for many, many years. I saw today he wrote a letter too. Imagine my annoyance when I saw that my babe wrote a letter. And I'm not talking about my son. Oh my God, because I went through the letters. I'm like, who the hell wrote all these letters, right? And then one of my people who I love dearly, and I'm about to drag you. Yeah, he's this. I'm about to read your letter. You know, I love you though. I want to say before I read his letter, I'm gonna read his letter. I want to say I love him. If I read his letter, okay, I'm just saying. He's on Instagram. He follows me on Instagram, and he's probably gonna know that I talked about him. Oh, the screening. Sorry, Thursday. Are you coming tomorrow, Thursday? I'm trying. I don't know, Mike. I'm trying, but there's several things going on because it's September 25th. So I'm gonna try to come on Thursday. I have the hearing in the morning. That's supposed to be 11, and then after that, I'm trying to make it to Queens in time for one of the event in Queens, and then I'm gonna try to be back for yours. And it's been a long time since I've jumped from event to event because I'm getting old and it's a lot. But I am going to try to come. I just haven't had the reason why it's from 4 to 7. Yeah, I'm going to try to come, Mike. Like it really is cutting it close with the schedule that's happening. But yeah, I do have it and I'm going to try to come. I didn't RSVP or anything, but it is on my schedule to try to attend. Thank you for reminding me. And Mike, sorry guys, I'm putting the thing. I resigned from all of that. I did. That's why you guys don't see me. The first event I went in a long time was Michelle event. Of course, I'm on no need. What do you mean no need? I gotta explain, sir. So yeah, I took some time in my advocacy world to just take time. In the next 4 years, I'm taking a break. But I did go to Michelle's event, which was beautiful. It was great seeing the survivors there. So I'm thinking of coming back outside, but you always support me. Of course I always support you because I love you. And I want to support you. Of course, obviously. What I'm saying is that I took a break because I took a break. So now I'm finding myself coming back outside. That's what I'm saying. So I'm finding myself to come back outside. I said I was going to take a break for 4 years, Mike, but I'm finding myself slowly coming outside. So one of your event is definitely one of the events I want to come to on Thursday. I have it on my calendar to come over. I just don't know what time I'm going to be there. And what I'm saying is I have something in Manhattan, and then I have to find my way to Queens, and I have to come back, find myself back to, I think your event is in Brooklyn, right? Your event, hold on 1 second, because you sent it to me. Did you send it to me, or you sent an email to me? Can you send me a text? Because I think you sent it to me by email. No, you didn't even send it to me. You know who sent it out? Hi Francia. You know who sent it out? It was Safali sent it, and I saw it by email. But I need you to do me a favor and text me the flyer to the 929 number, if you don't mind doing that. Send it to me, please, because I didn't get your text. I only got it. I saw it, and I was like, oh shoot, I need to put this on my calendar. All right, so please send it to the 929 number. Text me the flyer and the address, so I have it here. But I did see it. All right, so hopefully I'm going to see you on Thursday. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to take a break for 4 years, but it looked like I'm coming back outside. All right, so hopefully I get a chance to see you. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations on the documentary and stuff like that. So I hope to get there in time. All right, guys, that's my people. I have to take some time to show my love and support of my people. And this is September 25th is National Day of Remembrance for Pew Pew victims. All right, so that's what we're talking about. And I've been doing this work for many, many years. I took a break because I wanted to stay out of it, and just take some time and concentrate on other stuff. But it looked like I'm coming back. And I think one other reason why I'm coming back is because of what's happening now with the whole First Amendment and stuff like that. I need to start doing reconnecting, because I know a lot of very powerful, influential people in my life, and I normally don't go that route because I normally try not to. I try to be very careful of fighting certain things, because I know whenever I fight something, it goes crazy. It goes crazy. It goes wide. It goes wide and spread wide. A lot of people get involved. It's a lot. So I try very hard, if I'm doing this content world, media world, different things, I'm trying not to bring a lot of people into various fights, because it could really, be something that's crazy. And one of the things that I've learned in doing advocacy work, especially when it comes to pew pew work, is there's a lot of networking. There's a lot of doors and tables I'm in. There's a lot of seats I'm in. There's a lot of stuff, connections that I know that I don't bother. I don't bother these connections really. But yeah. And by sitting back and taking my break, I really did not want to maintain these connections. I just wanted to do something different. I just wanted to do something really, really different out there, media content. I just wanted to be by myself, concentrate on myself, enjoy life by myself. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be in the advocacy world. There's a lot of very powerful connections I have. I've met and sat in the biggest tables that anybody from a Black woman in Brooklyn could sit in, and I've left all of that alone. I put all of that on the table. I'm like, I'm done. I need to step away. But it looked like I need to step back in. So we'll see. And one of the things that I'm doing is reconnecting with survivors and attending events again and supporting. And we'll see. We'll see if I get myself back into the circle and have conversations I'm supposed to be having. Because one of the major conversations I'm supposed to have is about the First Amendment right. Because this is about some BS about what's happening, that you can't talk on something that's crazy to me. And I need to start knocking doors, kicking doors open again, and sitting some people's table And yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's not why we're here to talk about it. I apologize. You guys could skip 15 minutes. How long have I been talking? 15 minutes. You guys could skip all the way forward to 15 minutes. So let's talk about why I'm here. So anyway, so a lot of people, content creators, are talking about these character letters. Yeah, I know he's desperate, Tanya Gary. I know he's desperate, and everybody was so comfortable with saying that, there was no issues, that, he was happy, he won, whoop, 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 whoop. And he beat the case and everything like that. It was so much celebration. And now when people start really seeing the reality of what the hell is happening, because either way, at the end of the day, he still got two. Out of the 5, he got 2. His ass is still sitting in jail for the 2. But everybody was celebrating, having a good time. Oh, woo, did he beat the government? Da, 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 da. So now everybody's desperate, doing everything they're supposed to do. So anyway, character letters came out today. People are reading. They're reading Young Miami's. And that's what a lot of people is concentrating on. But I want to look at other letters, right? Again, prior to me talking to Mike, I wanted to say there is someone who I dearly love for many years and have respect. He wrote a letter too. I'm disappointed. I am that he wrote that letter. But I'm going to read his letter too. All right. Why am I disappointed? I'm disappointed not because I don't expect people to write letters to support their friends and family members when they're in trouble, because they want to support him. They want to get him out of jail, right? They do. They're concentrating as we need to get him out of jail. He sat there, but it's not the getting out of jail that I have a problem with, even though I have a problem with that. It's the irony for me. It's not the not accountability for me, because people are not holding this man accountable. He's not holding himself accountable. Everybody downplaying what he did. They are. They're blaming the women. They're blaming the government. Everybody said, oh, it's not a RICO charge. It's just a DV, just a little DV. And he got help. Or just a little man act. It's just a little tuition. Nobody needs to be in anybody's business in their bedrooms. Nobody's paying attention to who this particular person is or who he turned out to be. Another thing is, a lot of these letters are from people that knew him for many, many years. I read some of these letters. And I'm not talking about his mom letters and his children letters or his daughters. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who known him in the industry, some for 30 years, 20 years, 36 years, etc. So you mean to tell me all of y'all know this bro all this time? Y'all ain't know the bulls that he was up to? Y'all mean to tell me y'all didn't know what he was doing to Cassie? And Dawn and Capricorn? Of course, you guys don't trust Bonda, right? Let's not even talk about Mia. And Lord, let's not talk about Jane. Because it's all their faults, right? You guys was around for all of that, and you have the nerve to come out here talking about how he is the greatest father, the greatest human being. If it wasn't for him, my life wouldn't be the same. And y'all knew he was doing all that nonsense and shenanigans? That's what bothers me. And it bothers me because a lot of people are showing so much energy to the parents in the context, mostly the parents and families, right? And the aunties and the uncles and stuff like that, for Kale's survivors, right? Because when the ladies from Kale's, and I want to be careful because we're on social media, but you know who Kells is. He's currently locked up. Came out with a documentary. A lot of people was blaming the family, the mom, the dad. Y'all dragged them. Why did you let your kids go with him when you know that he was all this? You know all the history about him. Why would you do that? Y'all gave a lot of energy for that, right? Currently, we have a current situation with the artist Dave and this young lady called Celeste or Chelsea. Oh, let me make sure. I want to make sure. I keep saying her name is Celeste. I'm not sure. Why do I call her Celeste? It's because I knew somebody named Celeste. Hold on. I want to make sure. Because her name, I think, is Chelsea. I want to make sure, Dave. Because I do know somebody named Celeste. My friend, daughter, and I think I keep getting her name. Uh, not just Celeste, isn't it Celeste? Celest Rivez. Am I pronouncing her name wrong? It's not Chelsea. It's not definitely not Chelsea. It's Celeste. I think it's Celeste. I could be pronouncing her name wrong, guys. Sorry, I do that sometime. I probably. Let's just say her name, Celeste. Yeah, Celeste. Anyway, we currently have a situation where Dave the artist was in a relationship situationship with a young lady who unfortunately is no longer with us, and they found the young lady remains in his Tulsa. All right, there's a whole story about it. I haven't talked about it yet. I'm waiting to see what happened because a lot of people are giving salacious conversation and proof and talking about his music and his video. There's a lot with this story, so I haven't even concentrated on it. And I'm trying to be careful of what I talk about because I want to talk about stuff not so much unless it's politics. Politics is there in our face, and I'm going to always talk crap about politics, but I want to talk about things when there is a court case, when there is concrete stuff. When it comes to politics, I can make various assumptions based on what I see and what I hear because it's politics. We do that with politics all the time. Politics, politicians, stuff. Most of the politicians do some horrible things and don't end up in jail anyway. So I could talk about all my assumptions, but when it comes to everyday people's lives, I like to have a court case, a court document before I even go there. So I haven't talked about Dave yet, but I will, right? But I'm just watching. But Dave is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Dave allegedly had this young female in his company. Some people allege that they met when they were 12. Some people met when she was 12, and he was much older than her. I mean, 17 to 18 they said at the time. But, if you're under 18, there's supposed to be a 5-year gap. So if she was 12, the law says that if they start seeing each other, I know it's crazy, but there's the laws that I read years ago when I was talking about there's something similar happened when it came to advocacy, and they were saying that in certain states there's a 5-year gap, right? So if you're 12, right, and you found with someone up to 17, right, there's a 5-year gap where they will not be charged. If you're 13 and they're 18, they will not be charged. Some states have that is a 5-year, it's up to 5 years. I promise you I saw this law because it was another situation that happened that I'm aware of. Okay. So if she was 12 and he was 17, then he will not be liable no matter what anybody say. It's wrong technically, but he will not be liable because he's still considered a kid. Now, if she was 10 and he was 17, he has a problem, right? So they said it. But if there was a 5-year gap and she was 10 and he was 15, we still have that gap. There's a number there, ladies and gentlemen. You guys need to pay attention to when you're talking about the law. There is a number that they use, as horrible as it is, that they use legally, the attorneys use before they bring a case. So anyway, they're saying that they met when she was about 10 to 12, and he was around 17 to 19, right? And she's been part of his life. So now they're concentrating on the family now, right? Because they want to know why the family didn't do anything when their daughter or their sister or their cousins was traveling around with this individual. Now, there's a lot of people that said it on Discord, said that we tried to warn people that this was happening, but nobody was paying attention. Because, nobody pays attention to stuff like that. They don't. In real life, people don't pay attention when a runaway runs away and get involved in lifestyle they're not supposed to. As parents, unfortunately, depending on what type of parent you are and depending on what type of kid you have, sometimes you try to mitigate, and I'm not giving no grace to the parents because I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm saying sometimes you try to mitigate the situation, right? Because your child is going to do what they're going to do anyway. So you have to decide. whether you're going to use physical force, which could end you up in more trouble, or you're going to try to negotiate the situation to keep an eye on the situation, or you're going to hand the child over the courts to take away. But when you have a child that wants to just do things and they don't want to listen, they don't want to go to school and they don't want to listen, there are these choices that you have to make, right? That is difficult. A choice should be made. You shouldn't just ignore it. A choice should be made, but sometimes the choice is difficult. So I'm wondering what's up with the parents, or why didn't the parents take hold of the situation and figure something out, or at least report the situation, right? Some people are saying it's because they were getting money, they were getting paid, they were living their life. I don't know. But at the end of the day, people are now going after the parents and holding the parents responsible because of what happened to that young lady. I use her as example in this case because people are now beginning to concentrate on the bigger community when something happens, right, to someone, right? People start looking at other people who was around the situation to say, okay, why didn't you do anything? And I don't find this to be the case in this particular case when it comes to Diddy. Yeah, nobody was unalive technically with Diddy, right? Nobody was unalive, right? She was running away for a reason. I know, Tanya. She was. That's another situation totally. But thank you for saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even showing what you're saying. Hold on. Let me show. I forgot that I could do this. So this is what Tanya is saying. Yes, I said, yes, I'm attending. Right? You said hi. She said everybody. You said I will, and I said yes. You said he's desperate. I said yes, and you went on to say he's desperate. Hold on, let me show you. To get out of jail. It's so true. And then you said exactly. Thank you so much. And then you said that she ran away for a reason. Exactly. So the family, we got to look into it. But I bring her up. I bring her situation up because a lot of people are concentrating now on the situation that now that she's no longer here. But what about all the people what was everybody doing when she was with this young person was with this older guy, right? Because people turn their heads and they ignore situation when it's uncomfortable, and sometimes they try to pursue or have conversations, but they feel like it's none of their business. I feel the same way about everybody who wrote those character letters for Diddy. I know it's a strange correlation because nobody was unalive in the Diddy case, but there were so many horrific things that was happening to these ladies based on proof, not based on their word only, based on photos, based on videos, based on conversation. A key person who should be held responsible, who was there for every single moment, is KK, right? His chief of staff. So I'm looking at these letters, and these letters are from people that says, "Oh, I've known him for many, many years, and he's amazing, and he should be let out." And then some people was like, I'm not talking about his personal. I'm just talking about business wise. He's done amazing. He should be sent home with his family. So are we gonna hold accountable all those people that's writing these letters who've known him for many years and known he was up to all these shenanigans? Are we gonna hold them accountable? Or are we just gonna look at the letters and say, oh, they're trying to get him out, and they are friends and families and just trying to do what they have to do? So I want to read you guys a couple of letters that drew a lot of outrage at one time. Give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure I got these letters. Yeah. I want to read you guys these letters real quick. It drew a lot of outrage to the point where they had to come out and they had to apologize. Okay. So these are. Oh, let me go over here. Sorry, guys. Let me make sure you guys could see it. All right, let's read this letter. All right, so let's read this letter. So this letter was written. Hold on. Let me make sure. Thank you, Mike. I got it, Mike. Thank you so much. I got it, Mike. Hold on. For Danny, I want to make sure that I wrote his. Oh, right now, I don't even need to do that because wouldn't it says it in the letter, right? Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. This letter was written for Danny, and it grew a lot of outrage in the community. And it's for Mila. Mila and her husband, Ashton Kutcher, right? They were in a TV show with Danny Madison. I think it's the 90s show. And they've been friends with him for many, many years. They love him, right? He went to trial, was found guilty for a lot of not great things that he did to females, right? They both wrote letters among, with other people, and they got backlash on it. So let's read her letter. The Honorable Judge Mido. Hold on 1 second. Let's read, 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 let's read. I am writing this character letter on behalf of my dear friend, Danny Matterson, with whom I've had the privilege of sharing a significant part of my life. My name is Mila Kunis, and I am an actress. And I believe it is essential to share the remarkable influence Danny has had on my life and the lives of others. Oh, it's the 70s show. Sorry, guys, not the 90s show, the 70s show. I first met Danny during our time working together on that 70s show. And for the very beginning, I had a sense of his innate goodness and genuine nature. Yes, that's what she wrote. Throughout our time together, Danny has proven to be an amazing friend, confident and above all, an outstanding older brother figure to me. His caring nature and ability to offer guidance has been instrumental in my growth, both personally and professionally. One of the most remarkable aspects of Danny's character is his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of drugs. His influence on me in this regard has been invaluable. In an industry where the pressures and temptation of substance use can be overwhelming, Danny played a pivotal role in guarding me away from such destructive paths. His dedication to avoiding all substance has inspired not only me, but also countless others in my cycle. It would have been nice if he also avoided essaying a bunch of women, but let's carry on. Danny's steadfastness in promoting a rug-free lifestyle has been a guiding light in my journey through the entertainment world and has helped me prioritize my well-being and focus on making reasonable choices. Reasonable choices. His genuine concern for those around him and his commitment to leading by example make him an outstanding role model and friends. As well as he's SAing a lot of women. So I guess the concern didn't go that far, huh? Huh, Mila? Danny's role as a husband and father, Lord have mercy, to his daughter has been nothing short of extraordinary. It would have been nice if he didn't essay these women. Witnessing his interaction with his daughter has been heartwarming and enlightening. He prioritized his family, education, and happiness above all else. Not true. Not true. There was other stuff that he prioritized more than his family, education, and happiness, which is why he's sitting where he's sitting. Demonstrating his unwavering commitment to being a loving and responsible parent. As a father, he leads by example, instilling in her values that reflect integrity, compassion, and respect for others, except for the women that he essayed, of course. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. He's doing all that for the family, for his daughter. But I'm just putting out. He was found guilty. Yeah, he was. Uh-huh. Moreover, Danny has constantly displayed a profound sense of responsibility and care for those around him. He demonstrates grace and empathy in every situation, be it within the entertainment industry and in our personal lives. His steady support and understanding presence. I'm sorry, guys. His steady support and understanding presence makes him a reliable source of guidance and comfort for all of us. Danny Matterson's warmth, humor, and positive outlook on life has been a driving force in shaping my character and the way I approach life challenges. His unwavering commitment to being an exceptional older brother figure to me had a transformative impact on my life, instilling in me a sense of self-belief and encouraging me to aim for greatness, but all while maintaining a sense of humility. Nice letter. I gotta say, it's a nice letter. In conclusion, I wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Matterson, exceptional character, except when he was essaying other women, I'm just saying. And the tremendous positive influence he had on me and the people around him. His dedication to leading a rug-free life and the genuine care he extends to others make him an outstanding role model and friend. Please feel free to reach out to me requiring my further information clarification. It was interesting that she really pretty much stuck to the point of his rug-free life, right? She, of course, she refers him as a role model, et cetera, et cetera. And everything he's been accused of, obviously he's not. But I just find it interesting that she really spent the time to really, because she said, I ain't going to talk about that. I ain't going to talk about everything else. I'm just going to talk about that he's a role model when it comes to me and rug-free life. You understand what I'm saying? So she tried very hard not to put herself out there too much. And that's what a lot of the other people did too. But the only thing about the other people with the Diddy situation, is they talked about knowing him for many years. Now she talked about knowing him for years too, but they talk about him from knowing him many years in the entertainment industry. And all the people that talked about Diddy and everything he did was part of the same community. A lot of them probably hung around and saw what he did, and they said nothing. And now they're coming out of the woodworks with these character reference. And I'm just wondering, are we going to give them the same energy that we gave to Mila and Kushner when they wrote a letter for Danny Madison? That's what I'm saying. Because I know that they're white tea people, and Diddy is black, and a lot of people in the community that support him are black folks. But are we going to give him the same energy? Because they definitely went after Mila and Ashton Kutcher when they were like, yo, why are you writing this letter talking about how this guy's a great guy and he did all these horrible things? To the point where they had to apologize for the letter, to explain that they didn't mean to hurt. They didn't mean to hurt survivors. They understood. They understand the survivors feel, and it wasn't their intention. They just, they just was giving their support to a person that they considered their friend. I didn't hear the video, but this is what I believe, but I know that they did come out and apologize to survivors for saying it, because they got hurt. The survivors, the people that supported them, are hurt because they took such a strong stance with this guy. But how easy is to write a characteristic letter from somebody who's been found guilty of horrible crimes? And sometimes I feel like, because you're going to write character letters and talk, even if somebody is take a life, right? Because that's your role as a family member, friends, to support somebody in their hours of need. So that's true. And I have to understand that, because that's true. Your role as a family member, a loved one, is to show what that person meant to you. But it just annoys me that all these letters are talking about human beings that you were around. Maybe I could say that maybe Mila and Ashna was not around when he did those horrible things to the women that they're talking about. Maybe they didn't know everything. Maybe they didn't know what they put. The hip hop community and a lot of the people that was directly impacted by Diddy behaviors was around a lot of these people. If they weren't around, they heard what he did. It's a small community. I don't know. It's just something that bothers me with these letters, though. Maybe it's because everyone is doing so much to try, especially in the Diddy case, to make this situation what he did not a big deal. Maybe that's why I'm just so annoyed with it. They make everybody making it as if the women shouldn't have a voice, whereas in the Mila and the Ashton Kutcher situation, they actually came out and they apologized because they recognized that Danny Madison did something horrific and horrible. But the people in the black community, when it comes to Sean Diddy Combs, they are belittling everything, and it's making me crazy. They are disrespecting the survivors and the victim as if they're nothing. That's what annoys me, I guess. But anyway, let's continue. It's just this case is just going to continue to annoy me. So let's continue and let's read what Ashton Kutcher wrote. And remember, these letters got a lot of negative impact after the fact, a lot of energy. And I'm just trying to figure out if the community going to have the same type of behavior or consideration with the people that wrote the characteristic letter for Diddy. So let's continue. Honorable Judge Armando. Okay, let me see if I can make this a little bigger so I can read. Because my eyes. My name is Ashton Kutcher. Kutcher. I am an actor, investor, philanthropist, and most importantly, a father. Lord have mercy. Well, they be throwing the father in there, boy. I met Danny Madison, whom I was when I was 20 years old in 1998. He instantly became a friend, dedicated co-worker, and a role model to me. And he has remained such for 25 years. 25 years! You ain't know he was doing all that stuff to these women? Anyway, as a friend, Danny has been nothing but a positive influence on me. He's an extraordinarily honest and intentional human being, except when he was essaying women. I'm just saying. Over 25 years relationship, I don't ever recall him lying to me. Oh, so you knew. So if he didn't lie to you, that means that you knew what he was doing to these females, huh? He taught me about being direct and confronting issues in life and relationship heads on, really. Resolving them and moving forward. Oh, okay. All right, Danny, I see you. Danny's a person that is constantly there for you when you need him. We traveled around the world together, raised our daughters together, and shared countless family moments. Not only is he a good friend to me, I've witnessed him be a good friend to others and the kind of brother others would be lucky to have. Wow. Traveled all around the world, huh? You didn't know none of that stuff he was up to. All around the world. Man, he kept it hidden. Wow. Okay. All right. As a role model, Danny has constantly been an excellent one. I attributed not falling into the typical Hollywood life of rug directly to Danny. Anytime that we were to meet someone or interact with someone who was on rugs or did rugs, he made it clear that wouldn't be a good person to be friends with. Yeah, don't be friends with a rug addict. Don't be friends with a rug addict, but don't worry about an essay addict, huh? Huh? Don't worry about that. Because women are just dispensable, dispensable, huh? And for me, that was an implication that if I were to do rugs, he wouldn't want to be friends with me, which is something I never would want to risk or jeopardize. I am grateful to him for his positive peer pressure. Yeah, he likes to pressure people indeed. He also set an extraordinary standard around how to treat other people. Come on, Ashton. Come on. Oh my God. There was an incident where we were at a pizza parlor and a belligerent man entered who was berating his girlfriend. We have never met or even seen these people before, but Danny was the first person to jump to the defense of this girl. It was an incident he didn't have to get involved in, but proactively chose to because the way this man was behaving was not right. He has always treated people with decency, equality, and generosity. After 9/11, Danny was a huge advocate for support of the firefighters affected by the event, rallying his friends and co-workers to pitch in however they could. Thank you for that. Danny had his daughter a year before I had mine. He set a standard for being a hands-on dad. We have spent countless hours together with our kids. He is among few people that I would trust to be alone with my son and daughter. Boy, if you don't. He's also a dedicated lawyer, friend, husband with unwavering commitment to his wife. Lord have mercy. Well, he was adult. He was adulting. He wasn't. There's nothing that says that he did anything to underage. So I guess you could trust him with your son and daughter. So we spent hundreds of hours working together. Danny took his job seriously. He is kind, courteous, and hardworking. He treats everyone from the grip to the teamster to the actors to the caterers as equal. He showed up on time all the time and always pulled his weight. We have also traveled around the world together putting in our work. I can honestly say that no matter where we are or who we were with, I never saw my friend be anything other than the guy I have described. So you're saying that you didn't see him as saying these women. Okay, that's what you said. While I'm aware that the judgment has been cast as guilty over 2 accounts of he took it on. Okay, I like the fact that you actually took it on of rape by force. And the victims had a great desire for justice. I hope that my testament of his character is taken into consideration in sentences. I do not believe he is an ongoing harm to society, and have his daughter raised without a present parents would be a tertiary injustice in and itself. Thank you for taking your time to read this. At least he took on the situation straight up. At least he wrote about the situation, because a lot of people wants to not talk about what the hell is happening in the case. At least he took it straight up. So he said, even though they have he said he hoped that his testimony is taken into consideration in the hearing. So anyway, they had to apologize for writing this letter, because it seemed insensitive, cold, not respecting the pain that a lot of the survivors went through as a result of their friend's actions. Because again, the friend was found guilty. So they can't come back and say he wasn't found guilty. He was found guilty. So they apologized and stuff like that, and did a record. I'm not even going to play the apology, but you can Google it. They apologize. But this is a prime example of what I'm talking about, when people come out and they go out of their way, right? That's exactly what they did with Diddy. Tanya said that's exactly what they did with Diddy. She said, I hope Diddy don't think he's going to get out and everyone is going to have to open up for him. Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you have to say, Tanya, 100%. But we don't know how everybody's going to react, right? We don't know how people are going to react to him, because so many people are making excuses for him already. From the moment he was found not guilty on 2 or 3 of the charge, everybody went crazy. Like, oh my God, he's innocent. He's innocent. The government case was BS. They shouldn't have done this and that to him. I just forget everything. Even the people that was in court with me, they forgot everything else that was said about him. They forgot all the receipts. They forgot all the photos. They forgot the recording. They forgot everything, because they so enthralled by this guy. And they blame the women so much for everything. They did not, in my opinion, a lot of people did not put the responsibility of what happened on Diddy. He's the one that's the common denominator. He's the one that created the life. He's the one that did it, not nobody else. These women came into his life. He created it, and he done the same thing to every single person. Maybe as he got older, he became more refined. He became more sure of himself. He was able to pick people that was more able or more willing to participate in all his shenanigans, that he didn't have to use brute force so much. But the fact of the matter is, he didn't change from Cassie to Young Miami. He did the same damn thing. He had different levels for the women, but he did the same thing, right? And a lot of people want to forget what he did. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's not our business. It's personal life." A lot of people was around. They saw it, and people didn't do anything. But now everybody's writing these glowing character letters to the judge so that he could either come home and not have extended jail term, because either way the max they're saying for the term could be like 5 to 7 years, the max. It says he's alleged to a bunch of people. He's the first one who actually got this charge when it wasn't with adults, because there is a case where somebody got the charge with underage. Then they should just allow him to just walk free, because it wasn't a big deal. It was just a little tuition. He didn't really do anything wrong. If they went after him for the DV, they understand, but they didn't. Whereas DV was actually part of the case, but it just gets really complicated. But at the end of the day, I'm here to talk about the character letter. So people gave a lot of energy to Mila and Kushner, because they felt that they were being insensitive to the pain of the women, of the survivors, after he was found guilty. Right? I think these women was white tea women. Danny Madison is a white tea man. His friends are white tea people. So now we have a situation where there's a black male who's also entertainer, not an actor, but he's a hip hop artist who's a billionaire. He used to be. I don't know if he's still in billionaire status with all the money he's spending. Right? You have black and brown women. A lot of them are black and brown women. You do have white tea women, but black and brown women who came out and say, hey, this is what he's about. This is what he did. Right? What are we going to do? Are we going to give the same energy to the people that's writing these characteristic letters about someone who did horrific things? Or are we just going to let it pass? Are we going to read into it and forget everything that he did? Are we going to make excuses for him? That's what I want to know. Because a lot of people don't think that it's a big deal. What he did is not a big deal. Some people actually is telling me that when he comes out, he's going to be reformed. That's what I heard. MamaFlip, why are you taking this so hard? Why are you taking this so personal? He's going to come out. I heard from his cousin that he's going to come out and he's going to do great things. He's going to open up facilities that's going to help others. That he's a great guy. That none of this was our business. My statement is this. Okay, none of this is our business, right? He's a great guy, right? But what guarantee is that when he comes out, he's not going to do it again? Oh no, MamaFlip, you reading too much into it. It's not a big deal. He's not going to do it again. He's smart enough. He learned. He will never do this again. That's what I'm hearing on the back end when it comes to him. So you see all the excuses and all the positive energy that they're showing to this guy. They're showing all these positive energy to this guy. They're not respecting what the lady says. Because there were survivors, they said that he did exactly what Danny Madison did. I heard the testimony. They said that's what he did. But of course, we were going to come out like, oh, even if he did it, they stayed, or they went back, etc., etc. It doesn't make sense. It's not right. They're lying, MamaFlip. They only want money, MamaFlip. That's what they're saying. Yeah, all the women should come out. I think some of them are coming out. I think Tanya, I think a lot of them already wrote letters to the judge saying that, you know, he is a hindrance. They live in fear, and that he's not safe for the community. The women has already wrote, at least a good amount of them wrote letters. A lot of people are coming out because, again, they don't care about the women. But we're not here to talk about the survivors so much. We're here to talk about the people who wrote the letters, right? So again, you have Mila and Ashton who wrote letters. They got a lot of pushback. A lot of people was very upset with them. So now you have survivors, you have content creators who's reading the letters that was written on behalf of Diddy. All right, so let's just read. Let's bring up some of the letters that was written on behalf to support Diddy. Again, what I find to be interesting about a lot of these letters is that it seems to me. Hold on, let me make sure I have this. Hold on, guys, because it looked like it closed for some reason. Hold on. Oh, it's here. Okay. It seemed like some of these people, and I'm not reading the parents. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, good. I'm not reading. I'm not gonna read the parents' letter, or the kids' letter, or the baby mom's letter, or even Kim Porter friend's letter. Let me tell you something. Oh, let me back up. The mom definitely have to support her son. The kids definitely is part of the generic. You have to support the other baby moms who know what he's about. They went to the court almost every time. They took turns to support him. Mhm. Okay, y'all know what he was about. Okay, Kim's Porter friends though. Mm, I don't know. Kim Porter friends, I don't know, guys. Kim Porter friends, I don't know. I have an issue with Kim Porter friends. Who's out here over here trying to support this guy after you knew what he did to your friend. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a friend, I guess Lala. I think her name is Lala. Her letter is here. I think she's the one that helped raise the girls. So, in order to be part of the girls' life and raise the girls, she has to be able to believe and trust in him, because I'm sure he's helping her financially to raise the girls, and as a loyalty to Kim, she has to protect the girls at all costs. The girls are 18 years old. The twins are 18 years old. You mean to tell me that after everything that you know about what he did to Kim, because there's been stories about what he did to Kim, that you just gonna sit around? Not only sit around because you're supporting him to raise the kids, but you're gonna also write a characteristic letter for this guy after you know that he did worse, because you already know what he did to your friend. You let it go because you're raising a daughter, but you want to write a characteristic letter after you heard everything that he did with all the other women who are, which is far worse, possibly maybe than what he did to your friend. I don't know. I don't know, guys. So it's the ones that came out and said, "Oh, I'm Kim Porter friend, and I think that he's an amazing dad and an amazing person, and I've known him since 1998, and he's just wonderful in my life, and he's just an amazing person." Those are the people that are like, I don't know. So anyway, you guys must have heard about this letter over and over again. This is for Carissa Brown. She is young Miami. So we're just gonna read it because everybody else read it. Why not read it? My name is Carissa Brown. I'm a mother, daughter, sister, and hip hop artist who has spent many years in the public eye. I want to be clear that I cannot speak or defend anything that may have happened before I met Sean Combs. I do not condone any wrongdoing. I am only speaking on my personal experience and the man I've come to know over the past 4 years. This is why a lot of people is pissed off, because they already knew that when she was dating him, he was dating the other girl. What's her name? Victim number 3. Is her name Gina? And she was talking mad crap online about victim number 3, and then she said that she could make one of them. I think it was her. Do certain things. Oh, I'm sorry. She said that she could make the victim, one of the victims, do certain things uh, if Diddy asked her to. What the hell is it? Yeah, Gina. Yeah. So we already know that she knew what time it was. That's the thing about her. So her coming out, and I think that's why a lot of people are so annoyed with her letter. So for her coming out, saying that she only could talk about what happened when she knew him, when she was with him doing Jan, and she was with him doing Gina. I think a lot of people take homage with that. They call him BS on that because you know what he did. You know what he did because you were with him during the time when he's out here wilding. You can't tell me as women, like, this is the thing that makes me crazy. When you're dating somebody, you're seeing somebody, you can't tell me that you don't know the type of bull he's up to when it comes to the other people. You can't do it. You can't, especially if you're online saying that I can make him make you do certain things. I mean that that he's on some time. You know that he's doing these rooms. You know that he's doing these outrageous landless things because you were part of it. But anyway, she says, I do not condone any wrongdoing. So that means everything he ever done to all these women in your presence, outside your presence, within the 4 years you were him is fine. It's not considered wrongdoing. Okay. I can only speak about my person. Anyway, so she said for 3 of those years, I was in a public relationship with him. And during that time, I witnessed and came to know a different person than the one often portrayed, meaning that everybody's lying. Often portrayed by who? The media or by him? Behind the scenes, he was a loving, generous, supportive, and always encouraging. Yeah, right. He motivated me, believed in me, and helped me grow both personally and professionally. Yeah. I'm writing this letter because I believe it's important for the court to know the side of him that isn't always seen or spoken about. The man who poured, he pours into others, all right. He pours a lot into others. It's called urine. He pours a lot of urine on others. I promise you. I'll just leave it there. Because there's a lot of other stuff that I heard in the court about pouring. Who gave opportunities, who led by example, and who loved deeply. That's what it's called when you do that to people. It's love deeply. That's what you call it? You call what he was doing loving deeply? Wow. Interesting. Hold on a second, guys. My thing, let's stop working. Oh, okay, it's working now. That's what you call it? He helped shape me both professionally and personally, and he believed in me, pushed me to grow, and taught me how to be a better businesswoman. It must be nice. I don't know if your podcast is doing very well, but hey, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe he did help you. He helped me find balance between chasing my dreams and being present for my family. Look, I don't know anything about her family, but I could tell you a lot of people are taking homage with that statement, being present for my family. They taking a lot of homage on it about her and her what she's actually doing as a mom. I don't know anything about her, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just letting you guys know that's what I see, because that's what he did. No matter how busy he was, he never missed holiday or special moments for his family. Yeah, we knew. Yeah, that's why Jan moved in like less than 15 minutes away from him so he could do his FOs while his family prepared for Christmas and holidays. Yeah, that's why when his family's was around, he would actually fly these women in and get hotels so that after he opened up some gifts, he could go in and have the escorts meet him at 1 o'clock in the morning so they could have a free call for 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good family, man. That's special. One of my most meaningful memories was when he took me to the first Met Gala. Yeah, he took Cassie there too. Let me tell you what he did to Cassie right before the Met Gala. What he did to Cassie before the Met Gala is that he, I believe that was right before the where he took her to the hotel, right? Let me make sure I have the hotel name. I just want to make sure we are in the same place. Intercontinental Hotel, right? I believe that was it. I think that was when he took her. The security was March 5th, 2016. Is when he took her to where he set up a FO. I believe it was right before the Met Gala. He took her there. They set up a FO, and when she wanted to leave because she had to get ready for the Met Gala, that's when he proceeded to chased her down at the elevator and dragged her and put his foot on her, right, and tried to drag her back to the room. And then after that, he proceeded to send her a bunch of texts like a maniac. And then when she asked for his apology, he's like, "How dare you leave? I didn't even get a chance to go get off, and then you spent hours and hours, and you think you was gonna leave here, and me not even having an opportunity to get off. I didn't even have a chance to release, and you were trying to run out of there. How dare you? A lot of women would be grateful to be in your position. All the money I spent on you." So that's the statement that he said, and it was provided in court to her when she tried to tell him that I am somebody's daughter. How dare you do that to me? That's how he came back. So when you talk about Met Gala, yeah, she had a Met Gala too. But she had to put a lot of makeup on her face because her face was just all bruised up because of him. But yeah, why don't we talk about how memorable your first Met Gala was? It wasn't even about the event. It was about what it represented. Sean has always made it a priority to open doors for Black people. I think a lot of black artists would probably have something to say about that. You know, some of them, a lot of them have gotten their records and their production and stuff like that recently. Guess that's good. To make sure we are seen, heard, and valued in spaces where we historically been excluded. Really? Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow. Well, a lot of these women had to pay in order to get to these rooms, huh? They had to pay in their own way to get into these rooms. Get into these rooms weren't free. Mm-hmm. All right. That night reminded me that we belong in every room, at every table, in every conversation. I think every room, every table, every conversation is going to remember the shenanigans, the nastiness, and all the BS that he put women through in the future. I'm just saying. But, there's some tables that don't care. I'm beginning to find in this political world that we're in that a lot of people don't care about what happened to women anyway. So maybe he'll be able to go into every room, at every table, and have every conversation moving forward, because a lot of the people that he works with possibly have the same history, or if they don't have the same history, they don't care. Who knows? But let's continue. He constantly encouraged me and so many others to dream bigger, walk in confidence, and never shrink of who we are to make others comfortable. Wow. He also gave me a voice by providing me a platform on his network to speak for the culture and connect with people in the ways that was real and authentic. So, whatever happened to your show? Our show is still there. A podcast is still there. I'm sure that when and if he comes out, it's going to come back. Whatever happened to that? That opportunity changed the direction of my career. Showed me the impact one person can have when they choose to uplift others. Mm, 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 mm. Beyond all of that, I've seen him give it back to his community over and over again. In 2022, we fed the homeless together in Thanksgiving, but that was just one example. There were so many moments where he gave quietly, privately, without cameras, because his heart genuinely wanted to help. Yeah, we should have listed that. We should have listed all of that, because we are in 2025, 2022. We should have list all of that stuff that he gives back to the community. Because I heard something about how he had an event at the boys club. That's one thing, many years ago, and I heard about this Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, I need a list. I need a list of everything he ever done for the community, because they really pushing the 2 or 3 examples as who he is as a person. So Next time, let's just start listing everything he does in the community. It'll help. It'll help. It's not going to change the type of evilness that he did to these women, but at least let us know more than something that happened in 2022. Okay, I'm just saying. I've also witnessed him doing real inner work. This man lied when they said that there was a video of him putting hands. I mean, no, when Cassie sent out the lawsuit saying what he did to her, he lied straight up to everybody's face. I ain't do that. That's not who I am as a person. It's a lie. Then he had to come back and retract it when they showed the video. So now he's working on himself to no longer be a liar, to no longer be abusive, to no longer be a user, to no longer do DV. What is he working on? Is he working on himself? He made the choice to check himself into anger management after he went to prison, start therapy after he went to prison, and commit to physical healing through therapy after he went to prison. That takes strength, humility, and self-awareness. No, it doesn't. It takes a prison term. It's take a prison term. It take being in prison, not being bailed, not being given bail. That's what it took for him to do all that. And don't get me wrong, people go to therapy and do that. That doesn't change them. He could probably still come out and be the same, do the same evilness that he's done before. He didn't do it for show. He did it because he was in prison, ma'am. He did it because he was in prison, ma'am. He did it for show because he's in prison. He did it because he wanted to grow and become a better person. No, that's not true. He did it because this was required. He's trying to push the narrative to say that he's a changed person so he doesn't get a full prison term that could be allotted to him. And the fact is that he used, what pissed me off about this guy so much is that when I was reading some of his statements, some of the text messages and hearing his voicemail, he used the narrative of therapy. Because I wonder if he did have some conversations prior to him being caught. I wonder if he visited or talked to some people, because he had a tendency of saying that, be part of the light. I will bring you to the light, that you are my friend. You are so much bull that he said. Such a manipulative person. So he did do it for show. In my personal experience, Sean is not a danger or a threat to the community. He's a danger and threat to women, and women are part of the community. He is a man of God, someone who uplifts, supports, and inspires those around him to be better, mentally, physically, and spiritually. But more than anything, he's a father, and his kids are the ones who look up to him the most. They need him. His presence, love, and guidance matters deeply in their lives. I truly believe that he believes he belongs at home with his family, the people who means the most to him, and who continues to be his greatest source of purpose and strength. Judge, that's a good man. Girl, stop. Stop. No, he's not a good man. He's not a good man. He's not. Guys, I'll be right back. Guys, I'll be right back. Give me a few minutes. All right, guys. I'll be right back, guys. Read on. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I had to run to the ladies' room. Also, as I was going to the ladies' room, I see that Candace Owens is live. I can't believe that I'm actually listening to this woman, Candace Owens. Like, it's just ridiculous. My life has shifted into another realms. It's crazy. My life is no longer my lifing. I'm gonna listen to her. I just started listening a little bit what she had to say. I'm gonna come back to listen to her. She's reading text for her supporters. It's just crazy. I can't believe I'm reading. I can't believe I'm listening to Candace Owen. Like, life is crazy. But as long as she's fighting for First Amendment rights, I guess she's gonna have me listening to her now more. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, so that was one. So Clarissa, like, Young Miami is out here talking about that man is a good man. Like, God. You know for a fact that she's full of crap. Let me tell you, because of the fact of what she said. She said, and let's look at it. What did Clarissa say she could make a what did Young Mammy, hold on, say she can make a woman do? Okay. Old tweet. Okay, let's bring it up. I want to see what she said. Because a lot of people are saying this, right? Okay, here it is. I just want to show you guys. Hold on. This is the kind of thing that makes me crazy when it comes to these women. All right, so we're gonna stop this and then we'll be back. Let me show you what she said. Share. By the way, this is Young Miami with Diddy right there. Just in case you guys don't know, this is this is Young Miami with Diddy. Right, that's Young Miami. That's Diddy on the Met Gala. Sorry, let me stop because if you want a copy of that, please go to that website and you can get a screen copy of it. All right, so that's who it is. Just in case, I'm sure you guys know who it is, but let's just show what she said. All right, somebody put it on their Facebook. She said, if I wanted you to eat, Diddy would have had you on your knees. You're an eater. And this is an old tweet that Carissa, aka Young Miami, told a girl that Diddy would have had her on her knees eating her thing. And that's North Carolina boat. And that's March 17, 2024. She deleted that tweet. Now, based on everything that we learned about Diddy in the trial and all the horrific things that he had these women do, for her to say that indicates to me that she already knows what he's about, right? She already knows what he's about. She knows. So for her to come out and write this letter like he's a good man, judge, and I've never seen him do it. It's just a bunch of BS in my opinion. It's just a bunch of BS. But again, people are going to do what they're going to do to support their loved ones, to support people that they want, to support to get them out of jail. So are we going to let them get away with these mischaracterization of Sean Puffy Diddy, Sean Puffy Daddy, Sean Puffy Daddy Diddy Combs? Are we going to allow them to continue to mischaracterize this man? Or are we going to hold them accountable for some BS? You can't, just to be clear, you can't No one knows everything about a person, so let's be clear about that. Also, you can't tell a grown person how to act. All right, we know that too. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, and then I do know that you have to write letters, character letters, to help the people that you love and care about. I know that. I'm saying, as a community, are we going to sit by and accept these lies? Or are we going to hold these people accountable like the white tea community held Mila and Ashton Kutcher? That's what I'm asking. Do we believe everything that they said, that he's such an amazing, great guy? And if so, in believing them, do we not believe the women? Hmm? That's my question. All right, let's go back. All right, let's go back. He also was friends apparently with De Niro, I think, daughter. There's a lot of letters. Just go into the files, guys. You'll be able to see the letters. I think he was friends with Robert De Niro, daughter. I think it's a daughter. Claudine De Niro. Let's read Claudine De Niro. There's a lot of letters here, but these are the ones I picked because I wanted to read. I wanted to read that letter. There's a lot of letters from the family. I'm not reading the family letter because you know they're all going to come out in support of him. Again, I say I was really annoyed with some of Kim Porter's friends that came out. I can understand the woman that was raising the twins. She wants to be there and support the twins, and maybe she knows him in a different light. But if I knew that my friend's husband or baby daddy who did a bunch of horrible things to them, I don't know what I would do. I don't think that I would write a character letter that makes him seem innocent, if you know what I mean. And that he's the most amazing, accomplished person in the world, and he does all these wonderful things, and he's a good man. And I don't know if I would write a letter like that. I don't know. Maybe I would write a letter based on my experience with the person. I don't know, guys. But one thing I don't like in this case is the fact that it looks like everybody's trying to whitewash or blackwash what he did. I think that's the thing that's frustrates me. There's nobody that's being held accountable. He's not being held accountable, and nobody's holding him accountable for what he did. What they're doing is just blaming the women and making them believe like he did nothing wrong. I think that's the most frustrating thing. I mean, this is what keeps sticking at me, sticking at me over again when I think about this case. It just seemed like everybody's want to whitewash, blackwash, forget everything that he did, and everybody have this delusion that he's going to come out and be this new person, and we should just believe him, believe everybody who said that he's such a wonderful, giving, wonderful person, and then just move on. And that annoys the hell. I don't know why in this case it annoys the hell out of me, but it annoys the hell out of me in this case. Anyway, let's continue reading. So this is a Claudine De Niro. She said, "My name is Claudine De Niro. I am a travel agent, real estate broker, former publicist and event planner, and the mother of 3 daughters, 3 teenage, 2 daughters, and a son. I first met Sean Combs in the late 1990s and the early 2000s. Again, you guys were around when all this shit was happening. I went to work for Bad Boys Entertainment as his personal connoisseur, which means that your ass set up the freak-offs. At the time, I was going through a very difficult chapter in my life, and Sean immediately found a place for me on his team. It was not just a job; it was a way of lifting me up when I needed it most. So, did you clean up after his? Did you clean up the towels, Claudine? Did you clean up the towels? Did you clean up the baby oils? What did we did? From the very beginning, Sean has been more than an employer or a friend. He has been a mentor to teach you how to do what? set up to order prescriptions under somebody else's name. He is one of the smartest and most driven people I have ever known. He is relentless when it comes to wanting good in the world, good for his family and good for his friends. Bullshit. I call bullshit. He's relentless in having his own selfish ways. He's relentless in making people do what he wants to do, even if they say no. He's manipulator and he lies. Anyway, let's continue. One of the moments that showed me the depth of his character happened during 9/11. Lord have mercy, Christ. I think this year was the 24th anniversary of 9/11. 9/11 happened 24 years ago. 24 years ago. He called to check in on me. Oh, poor Tito. I told him that my uncle was missing and I couldn't bear the smell of the city because it reminded me of the fire in which my mother had unalived just a few years earlier. So you lost your mom and possibly your uncle. Did your uncle survive 9/11? Without which uncle? Are you talking about Robert De Niro? That uncle that was missing? Because he's still alive. Without hesitation, Sean told me to go stay in his Hampton home, and he made sure I would not be alone. Sending friends to join me within days. That is who he is, someone who stepped in when you need it most without asking for anything in return. Let's talk about the Hampton home. The home that he had a lot of the white parties. There is a receipt that showed that he had set up a hotel not too far from the Hamptons near Long Island in which he had a freak off. So when you were staying at his home, the freak off was pretty much not too far away. So it must be nice. Everything he did was around the freak off. Over years, our friendship has remained strong. Even after I married, we stayed in touch. And following my separation, we saw each other more often. I am close with his family, including his mother, who lived next door to my father in Miami Beach. Ah, Suki. I would like to know what she knows. You that close. I would like to know. I personally would like to know what she knows. Again, these letters makes me crazy because a lot of these people knew what he was doing, what he was up to, and nobody stopped him. And then they, even if they could not stop him, they making believe like what he did was nothing. It wasn't a big deal. That's what pisses me off. And they want him to come out and then everybody to welcome him with open arms as if he done nothing wrong when all he did was wrong. All he did was wrong. Everything he did was wrong. I have seen his loyalty to his loved ones and his deep commitment to their well-being time and again. Yeah, sure. Except for his baby moms when he put hands and foot on them. When he put hands and foot on the baby moms. Y'all didn't know Cassie when she was with him? Y'all didn't see the bruises? Y'all didn't see what he did to Cassie? Did he have a deep commitment to his well-being of Cassie time and time again? I spent much of my life in high-profile circles. Robert De Niro is my former father-in-law. Okay, so that wasn't the uncle that was meaning, and that was missing because Robert De Niro is your former father-in-law. Former father-in-law. So that uncle was not the uncle, and you kept the name. I hear you. Where am I? Keep the name. My former business partner, supermodel Naomi Campbell. Let's not talk about. I'm just saying. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. I just want to tell y'all. Let's stop this. Let's share. I just want to, since she brought it up, let's just share this right here. Share this screen. Yes, Naomi Campbell name appeared in documents released in the January 2024 related to Jeffrey Epstein criminal enterprise. However, her inclusion in the list does not imply wrongdoing. She has not been accused of any crime related to Epstein. Her name appeared, here's key court record, appeared in document. Campbell name surfaced unsealed files that included contact page, books, flight logs, and transcription for disposition. Passenger on Epstein file. Flight log indicated that Campbell was passenger on Epstein private plane at least 2 occasions in 2022. Victim named that testified on 25th that Ghislaine Maxwell instructed her to have X. Okay, let's stop that. Sorry. We're going to leave that. Sorry about that. We can't go any further because, we are on things. So, every time I hear about Naomi Campbell and her connection with the industry, it always brings me back to the fact that she was on the flights. Always bring me back to the fact that she was on the flight. Always. Does that mean anything? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't take it as anything except for that she flew on Epstein flight. But whenever I see her name, I always remember that she was on Epstein flight. But that's all. I'm going to leave it there. Let's go back. Let us bring it up. Share screen. Let's continue to read the letter. Again, so she said, and I have been in a relationship for the past 8 years with an Oscar winner actor. Oh, who is that, by the way? Why don't we look it up? Who is she in a relationship with? We just gonna do this. Let's see who she's in a relationship with. That she says it. Does she says in a letter, or says she mentioned an Oscar winner in the world? All right, why don't we just see who she's in a relationship with, just for the hell of it? What? No. She's in a relationship with Cuban Gooding Jr. So she's in a relationship with Cuban Gooding Jr. All right, so she's in a relationship with him. Isn't there some stories about Cuban? Okay, hold on, Cuba. Gooding was formally charged with 3 incidents, each resulted in a misdemeanor charge of forcibly third-degree SA. On August 19, 2020, a woman filed a lawsuit against Gooding accusing him of rape in 2013 in New York City, and the two parties came to a settlement agreement on June 6, 2023. Jesus H. Oh my gosh. So you were in a relationship with him for 8 years. Miss De Niro. That means all this stuff happened while you were in a relationship with Cuban Gooding Jr., ma'am. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. No, it was before you. Because 10 years would have been 2015 and it was 2013. So it was 2 years before that. So that means that's 12 years ago. So that means that, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. 15. Yeah, I'm doing the math. I might be doing the math wrong. Okay. You're in a relationship with him after all these incidents happened. You were in an incident with him. Okay. I'll leave you out of it. I'll leave you out. You settled in 2023 when you were in a relationship with him, but you weren't in a relationship when all these stuff happened. So anyway, so I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go because you were in a relationship with him when that happened. But anyway, Cuban Gooding Jr. has also had allegations against him. So I just want to make sure I mention that. So let's continue. Oscar winning person. Hope everything. In this world, I have seen firsthand how public scrutiny and false narrative can take a life of their own and how damaging it can be when people saying something to gain attention or money. You are full of shit. She is full of shit. Claudine De Niro is full of shit. You heard me said. I said it loud and clear. Claudine De Niro is full of shit. There was no false narrative written about this guy. Sean, Puffy, Diddy, Daddy, Combs did what they said he did. They had videos, they had text messages, they have photos. They had his voice on recording. He said he did it in court. His lawyer said he did it in court. His lawyer says if we are to hold him accountable for DV and for being a bad person, a mean person, or abusive person, it's fine. But he shouldn't be held because of the RICO charge. This is why he's sitting his behind in jail without a bail. Because the lawyer said you spent the whole entire time telling us what a bad person he is, that he liked to put hands and foot on the women, and now you want me to let him go? No. So her bullshit saying that, oh, people giving a narrative. There is a video, for God's sakes. Claudine De Niro. How do you explain the video at the elevator? This is the kind of shit I'm talking about that pissed me off with these characteristic letters. You can write a letter to support somebody without dragging the survivors and the victims, without lying. She could have kept it, oh, he helped me on 9/11, he's a great person. But you're going to drag the victims with you. She's full of it. She's lying to herself, and she's lying to other people. That letter is bull. Let's continue to read this bull. And it doesn't help his case. Because the judge, let me tell you something else. Let me stop this. The judge was there with us. You see, this is what a lot of people don't like. I'm going to tell you, this is why a lot of people don't like. People don't understand the judge. The judge was there. The judge read everything. That's the problem. The judge is making his decision based on all the evidence the judge had in his hand that was not shown to the jury. We heard the evidence that was taken away from the jury because we were there during the lunchtime, during the conference before the hearing. We heard everything. You guys didn't see everything that we saw. So the reason why the judge is so harsh is because he saw everything. He knows who this guy is. So for you to write a letter like that is going to be dismissed by the judge because the judge's going to see it's about some bullshit. You shouldn't have put that statement there because the judge knows it's a lie. The judge knows you're lying. So the rest of your letter is now no longer credible. Miss Claudine De Niro. All right, let's go back. A lot of people say I'm taking this case too personal. Just hate lies. All right, let's continue to read her letter. The perspectives make me even more certain that the man I know is shown to be a man whose actions towards me and others has always been grounded in kindness, generosity, and care. You full of shit! I respectfully ask that you consider Sean Combs I have known for nearly 3 decades, a man of integrity, lies, compassion, lies, loyalty, lies, who has constantly been a positive force, lies in the life of those around him, lies, 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 lies. Period. Sean is a devoted family man. His family needs him. His mother needs him. And his daughters, the twins, Chance, his youngest, all needs him. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about the girls, but the boys sure act like their dad, though. They have cases, too. Maybe they don't need him as much since they're acting like their father. Maybe they might need some distance to go through their own case and realize that some of their actions is not supposed to be correct. Some of the actions are illegal and wrong. Maybe they might not want to be near him for a while. Maybe be reprogrammed to be decent men. I'm just saying. I'll leave the girls alone because there's nothing on the girls. They depend on his love, guidance, and presence. Yeah, probably not guidance. No, not the guys. The boys, I might say no. I need to see how the cases go, but based on what I'm hearing, yeah, the guidance may not be a good thing. He is central to their lives, and they are to his. Being with them is vital for their healing. No, doubt it very seriously. And for his, I know he would use that time to continue being the steady, loving influence. No, God, this is some full of shit. This is some bullshit. They have always known his presence is implaceable, and his absence leaves a void that no one else can fill. That's not true. Thank you for your time and concern. That's not true. Lala was taking care of the girls while he wasn't around, really. She took control of the girls. According to my understanding, the girls grew up and they're fine. The guys, not so much. The boys, not so much. The boys have their own case. Maybe it's not a good idea for him to raise the kids. But that's just me. That's just my 2 cents. Now I'm gonna read my beloved, the one that I love dearly. I'm gonna read his letter. I'm just gonna read his letter and try not to comment too much because I love him dearly, and he follows me on Instagram. Let me see if he's on here. All right, he's not on here. He's not on here. Let me see. Is he here? He's not on here. All right. I love him dearly, so I'm gonna read his letter. Let's go back. I didn't even read his letter. When I saw his name, I didn't even read the letter. I was so annoyed when I saw his name. I'm like, God, I gotta talk about this guy, and then my baby actually submitted a letter. God dang it. Hold on, let me make sure I go to the page. I don't know why he have to write this letter, but I guess that's his friend. I guess we're gonna do what we have to do for your friend. So I didn't read his letter beforehand, so we're gonna read his letter together. Since I love him so much, I've known him for many years, I'm gonna be as respectful as possible in reading his letter. All right. I'm just looking for the page, guys. Give me 1 second. Jesus Christ. When I saw that he wrote a letter, I was like, really? I know I'm going to talk mad crap about the other letters, and now I see his name here. Let's see if it's here. That's not it. Why do I have the letters mixed up? Because I wrote the names down. Give me 1 second. I wrote the numbers based on sorry, I have to find it. Based on, but you guys could go look at, they have a lot of people that's been part of his life for many years. Everybody. Oh, I've known him since 1990. I've had friendship with him for 30 somewhat years. And I was in the industry. You have here's my baby. And there was one person that I'm the New York City Transit employee. Prior to that, I worked for Bad Boys. Boy, please. Anyway, here's my babe. I didn't read the letter. I'm gonna read it now to see what he has to say. And I have to tell you, I love him dearly. I love him. He loves me. He always supports me in everything I do in my advocacy life. So I'm going to be as respectful as possible since I love him so much. But I have to tell you, I was disappointed when I saw that he wrote a letter. Okay, but you have to support your friends, right? I did say that part. So let's read and see what he has to say. My name is Desmond Ryan, known professionally as DJ Webstar. I am a music producer and recording artist who has been fortunate to build a successful career in the music industry, one grounded in bringing joy to others through music and creating opportunities for the next generation of young artists. I've had the privilege I have had the privilege of knowing Mr. Sean Combs for over 20 years, both personally and professionally. Throughout that time, Sean has been more than just an industry figure. He has been a mentor, a guide, and at times a father figure for many of us trying to navigate both the complexity of the music business and the challenges of life. Sean has been a source of strength, wisdom, and support. In 2008, I faced personal and professional hardship that could have permanently derailed my life and career. Without hesitation, Sean welcomed me into his home, offered me a safe and stable place to live for 2 years. During this time, not once did he make me feel like a burden. Instead, he lifted my spirits, daily encouraging me, reminding me of my purpose, and assuring me that I could get back on my feet. His generosity during that time changed the trajectory of my life. Sean also helped me navigate critical career decisions at a point where I lacked experience to protect myself in contractual matters. Sean stepped in to assist me in negotiating fair deals, ensuring I was not taken advantage of, teaching me how to advocate for myself moving forward. These lessons were invaluable and instrumental in helping me sustain and grow my career. Beyond music, I have dedicated the last 14 years to charity work in Harlem, feeding thousands of families each year, providing toys to thousands of children during the holiday. I've been honored with multiple proclamations from the city of New York in recognition of these efforts. Quietly and consistently, Sean has privately funded these events for many years, never seeking credit, only wanted to support the community that helped raise us both. His generosity has made it possible for countless families to experience joy, dignity, and hope. Over the years, I have witnessed Sean extended this same compassion and guidance to countless other young artists and members of the community. He has consistently used his platform to uplift those who might otherwise have been overlooked, doing so quietly and without the needs for credit and attention. His commitment to mentorship, fairness, and opportunity has had a ripple effect that continues to benefit entire families and communities. While I fully recognize the seriousness of the matter before your honor, I respectfully ask that you also consider the positive impact Sean Combs has had on so many lives, including my own. His kindness, mentorship, and unwavering support for others are a fundamental part of who he is. Thanks for your time and consideration. I'm sincerely grateful for the opportunity to share my experience and to share light on Sean Combs. I know a man who has always sought to lift others as he climbs. Respectfully, Desmond Ryan. And that is DJ Webstar Letters. I'm not going to read any more letters. I'll end with that. Let me go back because Tanya had a few more things to say. The woman should all come out. I said yes, Gina, because I was asking who's the third victim. She said he gave the yellow water as well. I know. Bunch of lies. I believe that he did say a bunch of lies. Yep. And so were some of the letters. So why did any of the people that are writing letters to the judge and not come to the court and testify? Because they know, but they felt that he didn't get the real charge, so now they want to come out for the same MamaFlip. Thank you. That's right. Thank you so much, Tanya Guerrero, for being here. So yeah. So I'm not even gonna dissect TJ Webster letter because I love him dearly. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna read Stevie J letter because Stevie J, with everything that Stevie J represented in love and hip hop, the fact that Stevie J could even come out and say, you know something, why don't we read the Stevie J letter? Why not? Why not? Why don't we read? We're gonna end with Stevie J letter because I don't want to leave with DJ Webster letter because I love him. And I don't want to question anything when it comes to him. So why don't we just read Stevie J letter? Because Stevie J, I don't know. There's a lot of people here. There's philanthropists that wrote letters. There's somebody named Prince Charles Alexander. When I saw Prince Charles, I'm like, yo, what? Prince Charles from England? Ain't that a bitch? Who's this? A lot of people, 25 years, 30 years. All these people knowing this man all these years. Y'all sat around and let this man do all kind of nonsense and shenanigans and throw all these nasty parties and stuff like that. Y'all knew what he was up to, and nobody tried to stop him. Nobody tried to stop him. Nobody. Y'all just let this man do what he wanted to do. And now you want everybody else to come out now and take and say that he's such an amazing human being. Guys, make me. Anyway, this is Stevie J letter. Stevie J letter. Dear Your Honor, my name is Stevie J. I am a 3-time Grammy Award-winning music producer from Buffalo, New York, where I was the youngest of 6 siblings raised by a single father. I have known Sean Combs for 29 and a half years, and we've met in a recording studio, and he has changed my life forever. Coming from having little to nothing, Mr. Combs gave me an opportunity to produce music for the music industry, elite artists, Jackson 5, Sting, Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, Notorious Big, Jay-Z, Beyonce, New Edition, and the list goes on. And all this time you're over here sneaking and snaking and acting like a freaking whore in the industry, Stevie J. That opportunity was instrumental in changing my lifestyle, provided me with the golden chance of making history by having 3 number 1 shows in the chart from June 14 through September 27, 1997. It also allowed you to be a whore, Stevie J. Aside from being influential in my musical career, Mr. Combs is a dedicated son to his beautiful mother, a loving father to his 7 well-mannered children. Some of his children have SA cases on their own, Stevie J. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. I just want to make sure that we're aware that some of the 7 well-mannered kids have SA situations going on right now. I have pending court cases. I'm saying these words because I know them to be true, because I have a front row to witness him through the many years of our brotherhood. So that means that you were there for the FOs. That would mean that you were there when he laid hand and foot on Cassie. That means that you didn't say nothing when he was doing all this escorting situations. That's what you're saying to us. You didn't. That's what you're saying. You were there for all of that, and it was okay with you. From being present at all his children support events, birthdays, and graduations, and watching him display parental guidance and support to them, he's the most vibrant and happy spending time with his mom and children. I've honestly been expected to those beautiful moments in my life. Also, he was on substance most of the time, high out of his mind most of the time, taking multiple substances, and you guys did not stop him. He was high out of his mind most of the time, and you guys did nothing to stop him. My father was my best friend, and when passed away 2 years ago, without asking Mr. Combe for a dime, he nearly paid for the expenses for the funeral. Speaks value of the type of heart that he possesses. Paying for a funeral is like paying for lunch for most of us. Paying for a funeral for a man that has $1 billion is like paying for lunch for a lot of us. It's good. It's great if it's a friend, but it doesn't take anything out of our pockets, especially since he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually maintain these FOs throughout the years. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for some of these FOs. I wish they did a total math. He probably spent millions. So paying for a funeral, I'm sure, is nothing compared to how much he paid for the FOs. Oh, that was nice of him. Being in this industry business for 30 years and being friends with Sean, we've both endured personal challenges with anger and rugs. Good for you. As I've been going through therapy and taking all the necessary precautions never to look back at addiction again. Good luck. I need to ask the women that you're still messing around with if that's true. If you stop with the rugs and if you stop with the anger. I'm proud of Sean. I've read in the press that he's clean and sober and also taking anger management therapy to become a better person, because we all fall short as long as we correct ourselves and never revert to our old ways. He's going to revert to his old ways, but I like this statement. He's going to revert to his old ways, but I like this statement. All right? I like the statement. You see, this is a statement in which he is holding the man accountable for his misbehavior. I like this statement. This statement is right here. You have hope. He's full of crap. He's going to revert right back to it because he's nasty like that. He's a serial. So he's not going to be able to help himself but revert back to it. He's just going to be more cautious. But no matter how cautious he is, the people are going to be keeping an eye on him forever. Everywhere he goes, they're going to be looking out for him to be back in his old ways. So I don't know how he's going to get away with it. Maybe when he goes to another country. I think he should leave the United States of America myself, so he could have his freakazoid in another country. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But I like this statement because at least you acknowledge that he needed to clean up and sober and take anger management. I like that. Your Honor, as I end this letter, I'd like to thank you for doing an excellent service on this case, and I'd like to request leniency as you make your decision because his mom, children, and his friend truly miss. I like this letter. I like this letter because this man is asking for leniency. I like this letter because he acknowledged the man had anger problem. He had rug problem. He acknowledged it. I like this letter. I like this letter because Stevie J acknowledged. In this letter, he acknowledged the badness that this man has done. And that he's asking the judge for leniency. Whereas with Claudine De Niro talking a bunch of bullshit that none of this thing happened when we've seen the evidence. I like this letter, Stevie J. Well done. Well done, Stevie J. Well done. But for the people that's out there with these character letters, yes, as I said earlier, we are, as family members, loved ones, when our family members is caught up in something horrific like this in a case, we are required to come and show them love and support by doing these letters, especially if they've been good to us, right? But when these letters come across as demeaning, undermining the evidence of what these people do, or disrespecting survivors, then we need to hold these letter writers accountable, just like the white tea people held Mila and Ashton Kutcher accountable for the letter that they wrote for their friend. Because it's okay, I'm rolling my eyes when I say this, to actually be there for a friend and to try to get leniency for them because you love them because they've done well for you. But it's not okay to undermine the case, to undermine the survivors, to disrespect what they went to act like it never happened, and to not hold your friend accountable. It's not okay. And that's what a lot of these letters did. And it's not okay to act like that you were blind and you never saw none of this. It's not okay. You didn't need to say any of that. This is why this letter is good to me. He talked about what he did. He talked about how he changed his life. I'm saying these words because I know them to be true. I had the fortune to witness him through the many years of our brotherhood. This part over here got me concerned because that means you saw a bunch of the bullshit he was up to and you didn't stop him. But he could have had a children event. He could have had birthdays, graduation. He could have been, because there was one of the things that Jane and both Cassidy, especially Jane, was upset because he wouldn't bring them around his kids. Cassie, the reason one of the receipts shows that the reason why he moved Cassidy from his house when he pow-powed her so badly after her birthday party into a hotel where even the assistant can go inside and see her is because she was staying with him and the children, and he had the security guard take her out of the house and move to a hotel because the children was at the house. So yeah, he used to pow-pow the living crap out of a lot of these women and stuff like that, and he tried in some situation when it was really, really bad not to show the women not with their bruises. So he did do that. But that doesn't mean that you don't know what's happening. You're not that blind as children when you become adults that you don't know what the fuck is happening with your kids, with your family member. And even if you're so delusional, let's say that they all did not know how bad it was. Y'all saw the evidence in the court case. Those cases, those evidence, those receipts was not made up. Those came directly for him. You know who he is now. If you didn't know who he was before, you know who he is now. This is what I like about the letter, because he talked about the good time, but he also acknowledged that he had rugs and anger problems. So I like this letter for CVJ. All the other letters, and again, I didn't read all the letters. I only read a selected few that tried to undermine or belittle what he did to these women are bad and they are wrong. And we as a community needs to hold these people who wrote these letters accountable. How does accountable mean? Just know that they're liars. What does accountable mean? Just know that they're liars. That's all. Take everything they say moving forward with a grain of salt. That's it. I mean, you're not gonna, we're not gonna cancel them. There's no such thing as cancel culture because the far right has taken the cancel culture to the point where First Amendment doesn't even mean anything anymore. So we got to be very careful with hey, I love Tanya. We have to be very careful with the cancel culture. With us, to me, the cancel culture was when somebody really did something horrific, but the far right is using the cancel culture to cancel anybody. You can't talk about anything, which is, I don't want it to ever take it that far. You know what I'm saying? But of course, you can't tell somebody how to deal with disrespect. That's another conversation. But we need to be able to hold the people who lies, make excuses about the bad action of others. We just need to hold them accountable and just say, I'm not sure, what to believe. That's pretty much. Don't cancel them. Just question what they say moving forward. Thank you, Tanya. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. Have a good night. I'm about to close up anyway, but thank you for being here. Yeah, just hold them accountable for who they are. Just make sure that you take everything they say with a grain of salt and find out the truth on your own. You find out the truth on your own. Don't believe everything they say. Don't believe all those letters about Puff, because a lot of those letters are not true. They're just trying to help him out, But anyway, thank you for being here. Sorry about the lighting and everything like that. I have a background and everything like that, and this is my favorite background, so that's why you have it. So thank you for being here. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Please, again, join MamaFlipLive if you guys are seeing this. If you're on Instagram, please join MamaFlipLive. This is my separate channel where I get to talk about all kind of things without having to worry about different partners and people that I partner with in casino, feeling a certain way about my reporting. So I can say anything I want to here. So please join MamaFlipLives, as well as MamaFlip Slot Channel. But with the Slot Channel, we're only playing slots, no political, no entertainment. But please join me here so that we can have honest conversations about what's going on. And let me know what you think in the comments. All right. Please subscribe and like. All right, take care, guys. Thank you, Tanya, for being here the entire time. Good night, Mia Moore. Thank you so much. Okay, bye, guys. Oh, before I go, bye, Instagram. I see all of you guys are here. Thank you. There's a lot more people on Instagram than it was on YouTube. Please go to my YouTube and like, subscribe, and share. And if you know DJ Webstar, send him my love. I still love him, even though I disagree with him writing the letter. I still love him. Okay, bye, guys. Okay, bye bye.